little scoot going.
Which will shave a good 15 minutes.
Welcome to the Cigar Vault.
You look like a man who knows what he's doing.
Are you the legendary Kirby?
No, not legendary.
Not legendary. What is the Cigar Vault?
So, it's a small little cigar shop with a kick-ass cigar selection in an old bank location in a building in Buda, Texas.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, the cigar room, the humidor is actually an old vault.
Yeah.
You can't see the combination.
Prepare for angelic music.
Oh, there you go. We'll be back in 45 minutes. All right.
This is quite the humidor.
No, it's an amazing selection, and for a small shop, it's a really diverse selection.
Yeah. Okay, so today, what is the episode about?
Today we're doing pipe tobacco.
Pipe tobacco, and I don't know what that is, but it's awesome. Yes, there's a train.
Yeah, there's a train.
I've never piped tobacco.
You've never done it. I've
never done pipings of tobacco. What's involved in that?
Well, the struggle with most people with pipe starting is that it's a lot more effort than a cigar. Keep it going.
So walk us through the basics.
So,
what am I looking for?
So there's lots of different styles of pipe.
Right.
I don't see any Meerschaums in this selection. We got a kick-ass selection of briars. Briars are the root of a tree, and then your corn cob is exactly what it sounds like.
Just a pipe meadow.
It's actually a corn cob.
All right, so this is the whiskey tribe. We need a whiskey pairing.
And that one for us today is Johnnie Walker Black.
Johnnie Walker Black. So it's not trying to be anything elaborate, complex, or special. No. But just to be a nice little buddy.
It is nice.
Nice little buddy to the...
Nice little buddy. And it is an age, it's their 12-year-old. It's the first age statement release of the Johnnie Walker line.
Cool.
We're gonna try 3 different pipe tobaccos. We've got an aromatic. And so an aromatic is simply, notice that this is ribbon cut.
Okay.
It's pretty standard for aromatics. It makes them really easy to pack and manage.
Yeah.
Right? But what happens is during the process, they add actual ingredients to the pipe to give it a smell and a flavor.
Ooh.
That's not just pure tobacco.
Oh, that's like really sweet and almost like a coffee.
Yeah, they always say,
Did you say
public, if
cappuccino?
you light an aromatic pipe, you make friends.
Right.
If you light a cigar, you make enemies.
I believe it. Like a cigar dominates the environment.
Absolutely.
But this is much more friendly.
Yep.
Pipe.
Now, we're gonna move to 3 Nuns tobacco. Now, there's a couple other kinds. So you can also get flake tobacco, and then you can get shag leaf.
I mean, already we're in the, being in this room with so much tobacco, even the nose of the Johnnie Walker, I haven't smoked anything yet. This has already changed. But the environment here adds that that additional layer.
Now, we only had 1 Glencairn, so I gave it to you, because I'm just that nice of a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what it looks like to open up a tin. This is a non-aromatic tobacco, and it looks like this is actually flake, which, see how it still has chunks, right?
Oh, wow.
So what you have to do is rub it to break it up.
Okay.
And then, and this, by the way, is the 3 Nuns. And then last, we're just gonna do a generic English mixture of pipe tobacco. And what that means is, essentially what happened was in England, you couldn't add aromatics to tobacco for a while. Pure, just like Scotch. No flavoring in Scotch.
What's wrong
right?
with the option?
I don't know.
You don't have to buy it. Just get the option.
I'm just saying.
All right.
So now it became a standard thing when you're requesting a non-aromatic to say, I want some English.
Yeah.
And so now it involves a handful of specific, and see how that's ribbon cut?
Yeah.
That's
So
ready
it's the
to
same
go.
kind of cut as this right here?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna, and usually a pipe like a briar, you wanna break it in, which means when you first smoke it, it's gonna taste kind of weird.
Okay.
Because you're burning off the finish layer of everything.
Sure.
And you wanna build up some carbon and layers inside the bowl.
Yeah.
And so as you do that, the flavor gets better and better. And so, you know, maybe a dozen times into smoking a new pipe, that's when it starts to come alive.
Okay.
Now, corn cob, in theory, does not really do that.
Yeah.
It's really porous, which is helpful for the smoke, because in theory, the smoke is not as hot.
Okay.
Because the heat can bleed out the sides of the corn cob.
Sure.
And there sort of is a general statement among people that corn cobs don't last as long.
And it's super hot in there.
So a porous bowl will help draw some of the heat off. But that also means it's harder to keep it lit.
Okay. All right, so how do we do this?
Okay, so you got a pipe tool right here. It's got 3 things on it. It's got a tamper, it's got a scoop, and it's got a scraper.
Yeah.
Now, when you're packing a pipe, you don't just want to fill it up, shove it down in there, and then light it up.
Okay.
Because the goal is to be able to light it and then keep the what's the word I'm looking for? The burning ember. Well, not the ember, but the, help me out, Chris.
Cherry.
Thank you.
Cherry.
So the cherry, the lit cherry on the inside.
Good job, Chris.
You want to keep that lit,
Right.
but you don't want it burning hot.
Right.
And so you have to achieve this balance of it's not on fire, like firing your pipe, and
Right.
you overheat some pipes, you can crack them. But if it gets too cool, it goes out and you got to relight it again.
Sure.
So what you want to do is you want to pack 3 layers to a pipe.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
You start with an aromatic.
So
I'll start with
do I use my
the
fingers?
funky one. Yeah.
How much am I putting in?
And you want to pack 3 layers, just fill it to the bowl without pushing it down too hard. All right, so you got a layer. Now you're going to take the tamp, and the first time you pack this layer down, you pack it kind of lightly, right? Just to compress it by about half. And your goal is, you want good air draw. So draw on it.
Oh, I got
if it's super loose, you can get a little tighter until you feel just a little bit of resistance. You don't want resistance like a cigar.
No, I just got really good airflow.
Good. Okay, so now you do your second round. Go ahead and do the same thing you just did.
Okay.
Put some tobacco in there, just until it reaches the top. It can be sticking out the top a little bit.
Right.
And then this time tamp a little bit harder. So if you're thinking of levels of tamping, you pack 3 levels and you go light, medium, and heavy. So that way that the section of tobacco closest to the base of the bowl and the draw, notice that at this point your draw,
It's a little bit more.
a little bit more.
And this one's tighter?
Okay, now the third round is the tightest one. We'll put one last piece in there. And keep in mind, it's been like a decade since I've smoked pipes regularly. All right, now we have a nice draw.
Yeah.
It's packed enough that we have a good pull on it.
Yep.
You can feel some resistance. Yeah?
Sure.
All right. Now, first thing, we're using matches. So before you try to light the pipe, let the sulfur burn off. So you're only burning wood, because you will taste that.
Okay.
And watch, you're gonna want to do this.
Put it on that camera.
You're gonna want to draw in, you're gonna want to light the flame, hold the flame over the bowl, and then draw the flame down in and move it around until you've lit the entire top surface.
So draw the flame
and
down.
then stop and let it go. And let it go out. Let the sulfur burn off first. All right, now this is a preference for me. I like to get that top layer lit and then let it go out. Because then when you tamp it down again, you'll get a layer of ash on top that will help keep the cherry continuing to work its way through the tobacco.
How do you hold a pipe?
You hold it by the bowl.
By the bowl.
Super comfortable.
Ah.
Yeah.
I feel like Gandalf.
Feel like a gentleman. You get as many opinions on how to smoke a pipe as there are pipe smokers. And really the rule is, if it's not too hot for you and it tastes good,
Yeah.
and you're enjoying it, then that's the right way to smoke the pipe. So I'm gonna light it one more.
And this next time,
get it really good and lit. There you go. Now this time, tamp it down lightly to recreate the top while drawing in so you're not putting it out. There you go. Now, if it starts to feel hot, stop. The smoke starts to feel hot, stop. As you smoke the pipe, you're gonna wanna continue to tamp it down lightly as you move your way through. But you can see how already you're starting to run out of smoke. It's going out.
yeah. So how do you keep it from going out?
You get better at it. That's it. And this is why people get frustrated with smoking a pipe and go, screw it, I'm going back to cigars. But I find, like...
Now, I stopped when it was starting to get warm. Like, is it hot is whenever I
It
start?
has less to do with that, although that's a good marker, and more to do with how well you've packed it. Are you tamping correctly to create the top layer?
Not well at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of ingredients that can screw up a pipe.
Quick, the pairing before it's still, before it goes
Well,
out.
what you're tasting and what I'm tasting are gonna be 2 very different things. Now, one little trick a friend of mine taught me that I use constantly these days when I was smoking pipe was, if you're trying to revive a pipe and bring it back to life, you can blow out gently, just really gently. You don't like shoot tobacco across the room. And then put your fingers over the top and draw aggressively 2 or 3 times, and then blow out gently. And just go back and forth like that pretty aggressively, 2 to 1, 2 in, 1 out, 2 in, 1 out. And what you're doing is you can totally bring the cherry back to life like that without having to relight. Now let's swap out. You can see how different this one tastes than the one you've been enjoying so far.
Very different.
A lot more bitter, notice. But there's a lot more complexity in that one. This one tastes very sweet, even in the smoke.
Even this one, which is unflavored, it's not as challenging as a lot of cigars. Is that generally the
that's
case?
absolutely true.
Is this like cigars in the sense that you're not necessarily looking for a deep draw, deep inhale?
No.
It's mostly just up in here?
Yeah, if you go straight from smoking cigarettes to pipes, it's a bad, just like cigars, it's a bad idea. You'll be used to inhaling all the time, and pipe tobacco is not a good idea for that, just because it smells pretty.
So how does it pair with this? Why are we going Johnnie Walker
think-
Black with... I need some more whiskey.
Because, to me, while smoking a pipe, oh, look at that combo. What happens with Johnnie Walker is it just provides that nice, sweet, cool touch to your tongue. You can get something from a pipe if you overheat it or you smoke too quickly. It's called tongue bite. And what that means is you feel like you sort of burnt your tongue. Like if you drink coffee too fast and your tongue feels sort of fuzzy, you get that from a pipe. And one of the most painful things is after you've done that, drink carbonation. Anything carbonated, you'll feel like you just set your tongue on fire. I'm gonna use this opportunity to move to our third. And now what I would say with the whiskey is, to me, the Johnnie Walker's nice and cool tasting now.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
It definitely is sweet.
It's a nice contrast to tobacco. But notice we're not getting any subtleties.
So the thing,
out of
no, there's no subtle. Johnnie Walker Black, to be fair, it's not like we're going to lose a lot of subtlety with any kind of pairing. But the main benefit I'm getting so far is to get that that cooling effect on your tongue, and then some nice sweetness with, it's just neat whiskey.
Right.
Even one that's not complex is going to have enough character to really stand up to smoke.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm now moving to the generic English tobacco, which is, it really usually means a blend of 3 different kinds of tobacco that are totally escaping my brain right now. One starts with an L, like Lakivia. What is it?
Latakia.
And then the that's a really famous one. And the other one is a and that's an equally famous one. Yeah, if you want to get what Sherlock Holmes was smoking, it's just going to be the stinkiest of English shag leaf pipe tobacco. The kind of thing that when everybody walks into the room, they're like, oh, come on.
And now at this point,
Oh, I really like this one. It's almost got a, what's weird is it's almost got a beef jerky kind of note to it.
I think most of us enjoy jerked meats.
Oh wait, did you need a refill?
Yes.
Okay. Chris, you want any Johnnie Walker? So, oh nice, there you go. Oh, Burley, Lataki, and then Turkish, and Virginia. So we got 4 kinds in there. Nice. And the Perique. That's what I was trying to remember. You said it and I didn't hear it.
This is Chris. He knows his way
Thanks, Chris.
around a pipe. Are you a pipe guy or you're a cigar guy?
I do both, but
Yeah.
mostly pipes. I like to switch between the 2.
He's keeping us on the rails here because we have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm just reading a teleprompter.
Which of these are you liking for the best pairing with the Johnnie Walker Black?
I think I just relit the aromatic. And the aromatic sort of fights with the Johnnie Walker a little bit. I think the English that you're currently, that's the one you're smoking, right? The English? I think that one is just,
Well, hold on.
just spot on. Now, one reason they don't advertise that I really love the pipe is the fact that it takes more work. I find it just distracting enough that there's ritual to it, and it's sort of comforting.
Yeah, you're that guy. I like the nuns. 3 nuns.
I am going to go
Johnnie
back
Walker.
from aromatic. I'm going to go back to the...
For a pairing. I think I like the English as a standalone better. But for a pairing, I like the 3 nuns better.
Nah, you're wrong. Your opinions are meaningless.
You want to fight about it?
Maybe.
That keeps going out.
It's because you're bad at it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I really am. That's clearly established. Daniel has an experiment, a bold new pipe pairing experiment. What is your bold new experiment, Daniel?
Well, I was wondering,
Yeah.
you know, you light a pipe.
Bold new.
Yeah, you light a pipe and you have whiskey. You really want the pipe tobacco to be lit all the way through.
So lighting a pipe with whiskey flames.
Yeah. Can you do it?
Because you know the flame from this whiskey is super special flame. It's
Yeah.
got all types of beautiful pairing notes. In the fire, I didn't know if you knew that, it transfers through the fire into the
Most people don't know that.
pipe tobacco. So,
And you like the Three Nuns best.
I did. Show this here, we got the packing.
Now, this is 66, which in theory means we can light it on fire.
It's lit. Yeah,
It's definitely burning.
yep, it's burning.
All right. Now,
Like, can you get the pipe? You need to be drawn. Oh, you got that?
you ready?
Yeah, do it, do it. Got the camera.